Me again, the Puzzle Master, wanted to do another video that's going to be talking about 9/11 and how, like, the general public, even though the mainstream media is, like, so bought out that, like, they're really not even speaking a word of truth anymore, other than the fucking bullshit, or other than the lies that they're gonna speak about the celebrities, because those kind of things might be true about the celebrities, but they have nothing to do with what's important or what we actually should be talking about in our mainstream media, especially when it comes to these overseas things, okay? But what's really important about all of this is that even though the mainstream media is bought out, even though 99% of, like, what's out there in our box is, like, lies, people are waking up anyway, and it doesn't seem to make a difference whether or not there's lies on the television or in our magazines and in our media, because people know that that doesn't sound right. And I highly agree with this guy, Ken O'Keefe. He's awesome. Like, I really agree with his philosophy and with his general life viewpoint. It isn't my quote. I wish I could say it's my quote, but it comes from him. And I highly recommend that you look him up after. I will provide a link down below. Please look him up. He does know what he's talking about, and you'd learn if you were to research him. And he said this. I liked the quote so much that I actually wrote it down. It says, "Whether we like it or not, taking responsibility for the actions of our government that operate in our name and receive our complicity and our support is essential to solving the problems that we face. Blame shifting, on the other hand, is tantamount to voluntary maintenance of the tyranny. As for my motivations, I consider every single member of our human being to be a brother or sister in one human family, and I want the best for every member." He says that, and when he says it, it's just so true from his heart that it really meant a lot to me, and means a lot to me. And I'm sorry, but to all those banker people out there, you have nothing on him, because he not only has truth on his side, but he has a good soul. So I'm sorry, but you've been duped. And mwah, to all my people out there, and I hope that you've liked my little 3-minute video. Please watch some of his. Actually, I'll end my video with, like, a little, like, segment clip from him, just audio, I guess. But I hope that you enjoy, and thanks.
The truth about 9/11 can be the beginning of the end of that insanity. The good news is that poll after poll makes very clear that more and more people do not trust the official account of 9/11. Around the world, it is safe to say that the majority of people do not accept the official version of the event. In America itself, roughly half doubt or disbelieve the official version altogether. And herein lies the heart of the gift. Despite all of the mass media deception, people are seeing straight through the lies and regaining the capacity to think and process information intelligently. This is absolutely critical in the process of liberating humanity from the bondage and ignorance and division. I have often used a metaphor to describe the current state of human existence, and it goes like this. Human society has created and ultimately consented to the institutions of power that oppress us, to such a degree that we the people have constructed a massive prison that every man, woman, and child, for the most part, have voluntarily entered. We have then closed the prison door behind us, taken the key within our collective hands, and locked the prison door. As if this wasn't bad enough, incredibly, we have then handed the key to the prison door to a group of psychopathic tyrants who have all too wisely remained outside of the prison. Subsequently, we continue to beg these tyrants for the crumbs while we continue to remain locked in a prison of our own making. Now, the prison is a metaphor for our current financial system, a financial system utilized by the tyrants to control virtually every aspect of human existence. And yet, and please listen to what I am saying here, the tyrants are powerless without our consent. And while we have collectively entered this prison, we can tear down the prison walls of financial enslavement in an instant. No matter what our religion, non-religion, what color we are, what country we come from, what group we relate to, or what philosophy we subscribe to, we, the masses, have the same cause. We want the same things. We want to live a dignified life. We want a just and peaceful world. The powers that be know this very well, and that is why they must continuously divide us and rule us. The key to the maintenance of their tyranny is hoodwinking us into fighting each other for the crumbs from their lavish tables. And believe me, the powers that be revel in the madness that is our division and ultimately self-imposed enslavement. They are laughing at us. They mock us. But it doesn't have to be this way. Do you want a better world, a sane, just, and peaceful world? Well, so do I. In fact, I demand such a world because I refuse to accept the unacceptable. And while I hold the tyrants responsible for ungodly amounts of suffering and injustice and death, I cannot ignore the fact that they could not possibly have achieved this without the massive compliance from the masses, from us. Which brings us back to an uncomfortable truth, which is that we are guilty to one degree or another. I want to issue a huge apology to a group to which I am not a member. Because as I will lay out very clearly, if there is one group that cannot be held responsible for the 9/11 event, it is the very group blamed for this crime. And that would be the Muslims around the world. So let me say with resounding clarity on behalf of all sane, thinking people, we are deeply sorry that Muslims have been falsely accused of the events of 9/11 and that subsequently, countless Muslim lands and people have endured the farcical war on terror. We apologize for the invasions, occupations, drone strikes, torture, Guantanamo, for all of the maiming and the death that has rained down on you. Let it be understood from this day forward, from this non-Muslim, that we know the 9/11 false flag was intentionally, falsely blamed on you, so as to cultivate a clash of civilizations. We reject the war on terror in total and shall identify those responsible come hell or high water. When we return, we shall discuss the absurdity of the official version of 9/11 and more importantly, whose fingerprints are left all over this event.